What is up, family? Welcome to Certified Base. This is a Certified Reacts video. Today we're reacting to the most disgusting episode of my 600-pound life. Rudy's been doing his weight loss journey. It's been a good time, you know?
Which I'll show you a picture right now of how I
Yep.
used to look like.
Bing!
Yeah. Fat,
How,
no
how
self-control.
many pounds are you down?
55.
From having her parents wipe her clean after she goes to the toilet and spending all
Ah!
of her disability allowance on fast food and junk food, it's easy to see why many 600-pound life fans call Jean Covey selfish and spiteful. And this episode features some of the most disgusting scenes I have covered yet. Not only
I
are there
can't
physically
wait.
disgusting scenes, like when Doctor now questioned whether she was wiping properly, but emotionally awful scenes too, as we will come to see
no.
very soon. Starting
That's
out though,
crazy, bro.
36-year-old Jean is almost completely immobile, relying on her elderly parents to do everything
What?
for her.
That's
from making
sad,
her meals to
bro.
wiping after her after she's been in the toilet.
Why do you keep making
Yeah.
her food? Stop making her food. Look. If you just leave her there and she just can't eat, she won't eat. I promise you, she won't die. And then she'll be able to lose weight, maybe. I don't know.
You're just enabling this child.
Exactly. You see that massive plate of food? That's probably like the sixth plate of that's probably the sixth strip,
Yeah.
round six or something.
Oh my gosh.
Her parents bear the brunt of her care. Jean suffers daily due to her chronic obesity and health issues because of her weight. After gaining extra weight, Jean could no longer use the shower after an extremely bad fall, and due to her size, meant that she became trapped there for hours. This means that she relies on her mother to wash her while in bed using a bowl and washcloth, a humiliating ordeal for both participants. From her bed, Jean commands her family to complete the various tasks she requires in order to keep her comfortable. And we learn the root cause of Jean's food addiction.
I'm happy as long as I keep eating. So I think that feeling is what I'm addicted to.
There it is. The
Yeah.
addiction, the dopamine addiction.
Not only that, but my feelings.
Yep.
It's all about
Yep.
my feelings. It's all about. It's the society we live in. Everything's about my feelings.
Well,
Shut the front door.
yeah. The food you're probably putting in your body is not helping your feelings either. It's not helping your situation. You can't move, you can't walk. Of course you're going to feel bad.
Ever since I was a child, I knew I could use food to escape whatever it was I was dealing with when things got really bad.
Growing up with a single mother, Jean lived with her grandma a lot of the time due to her mother working 2 jobs to earn enough money to support the family. But Jean's grandma was very abusive towards her, often hitting her with metal coat hangers or extension cords as punishment, leaving her with bruises from her neck down to her toes. Jean reveals that this spiraled her eating disorder, as she would steal her grandma's sugary soda drinks and snacks as a way of revenge to get back at her for all of the horrible things she'd done.
So when my grandmother would beat me or say something horrible to me, what I would go to make me feel better was food. So I started to get a little chubby then, and I was over 100 pounds by the time I was 6.
Being over
What?
100 pounds at the small age of 6 is
Oh
over double
my
the
God.
average weight of a child that
Oh.
age, putting extreme stress on Jean's body. Not to mention
That's
the traumatic
crazy,
effect
bro.
on the school playground, as we all know how cruel children can be. Things only got worse for Jean, as she was abused by one of her mother's boyfriends, keeping the abuse a secret and using food as a way to soothe herself.
That's
This
sad,
traumatic
bro.
event was
Yeah.
a catalyst
so
for
sad.
Jean, and she unfortunately spiraled.
You know, and that's always and this is that's sad, bro. That it really wasn't like, oh, I just really like this food that much that spiraled the addiction, but rather that, I mean, instead of turning to a drug, usually
Yeah.
people experience traumatic experiences, they turn to whatever, alcohol,
Drinking,
drinking, or any of these hardcore drugs. But her drug was food, which is sad because drugs and alcohol have a really
Yeah.
negative effect on your health, but like with the weight loss, like being able to when you have to stop your addiction to food, then your body has to go through a whole different kind of transformation. Like the effects that overeating have on you, I think are, to me, might be even worse than some effects that a drug might give you, because now you're immobile. She can't move no more.
Yeah, that's a good point. She could have went down any path, but she chose food, and that's a good perspective on like how abuse or something can lead to freaking being obese and circumstances, and
Yeah.
it's sad.
gaining over 100 pounds in just 3 years. As a 9-year-old, she weighed over 200 pounds.
9-year-old?
A 6-foot adult
Oh
male. And if
my
you thought it couldn't
God,
get
bro.
any worse for Jean, you'd be wrong, as her grandma became even more abusive as time went on. Punishments that her grandma gave were bizarre too, like making Jean smoke a pack of cigarettes as a preteen. It's very unfortunate that Jean just didn't have much support growing up and wasn't really given much of a chance at life. Jean's grandma died when she was 13 years old, and after revealing the extent of her trauma with her mother, it looked like things were going to get better for Jean, and she could finally heal and move on with her life. But the pain was still there, and the only way she felt like she could carry on was through food. At 15 years old, Jean was over 350 pounds, making her high school life very difficult. Developing depression as a result of all the bullying, Jean ended up dropping out at just 17 years old, meaning she wouldn't get any qualifications. This negative spiral just continued, as Jean kept eating and eating until she weighed over 400 pounds at the age of 18. Jean's
Dang,
weight
bro.
had a massive impact on her lifestyle too, as she found it extremely difficult to do what most people her age could do with ease.
And I tried to get a job and work and get my GED, but it was too hard at my size. And as I got into my 20s, my depression got even worse. And I put on another 100 pounds really quickly. And when I hit 500 when I was around 23 is when I went on disability, because I was starting to have a hard time getting up and doing anything. And it was just impossible for me to work.
And it seems like getting the disability allowance was one of the worst possible things that could have happened to Jean, as she now had an excuse to not go to work and just keep eating, because she was being rewarded for it. Jean medically had no health conditions at all, but her disability was obesity itself.
That's crazy,
If Jean tried
bro.
to lose weight, start exercising, and just generally move around a bit, she would have been able to slowly improve her lifestyle.
I know exactly what you're about to say, and let me see if I'm right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that freaking culture and like social media, they don't make the exercising and that stuff popular. It's like if we put enough focus as like being healthy, like actually healthy food, healthy lifestyle, if we put that much effort if we put the effort as we do into like these commercials, the food commercials, and the same money as we do into a healthy lifestyle, I feel like she would be able to help herself. But in America, it's just the opposite is shoved into our face.
I was definitely wrong about what you were gonna say.
Oh.
The way I saw it is, well, I'm already on disability. I'm getting a check. If I lose all this weight, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna have to go to work.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I feel like that would
Go that way.
also be that
Yeah.
thought process. But yeah, no, I like what you said, because you
Yeah.
know we've had this culture in the last couple of years, this the body positivity. It's okay to be fat. Again, going back to my feelings. As long as my feelings are satisfied, that's all that matters.
Yeah, but food also makes you feel a different way. Like crappy food makes you feel crappy.
Exactly.
So like, yeah, what
I
you're
feel
putting
much
in,
better than when
yeah.
I was 50 pounds plus ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm actually, I used to try to walk a flight of stairs, and I'm like,
Yep. You can't go based off your feelings when your reality is just terrible.
it's a life of delusion.
Yeah.
And reintegrate into society. But Jean just didn't want to do this, and once she got her disability check, she was fully consumed by her addiction.
And because of that, I started mostly just staying home. The only thing I got out for was to go to church. And my world started to become just my house and my mom. And that's the way it was for a while. So my eating didn't change. Except I think
my
I eat more
God.
now than I did then.
She's
The world started
what
just
is
staying
she
home.
eating right
The
now?
only
I
thing
like
got
lost
out
track.
for was to
That's
go
a
to
burger. That looks like
church.
McDonald's.
My world started to become just my house and my mom.
All
And
right.
that's the way it was for a while. So my eating
Oh my straight.
She
bro,
is
eating that-
soloing. What is that? 12 cupcakes. She's soloing a pack of 12 cupcakes.
Oh my God! Like I feel bad because I'm chuckling right now, but this is sad. But I'm like,
It's
bro,
sad, but
like
also
you're killing
yeah.
yourself slowly. Like you just ate that massive burger. Now you're soloing a 12 pack of cupcakes. I felt like if I soloed those cupcakes by myself, I feel like I would die
there's like a point.
immediately.
Yeah, there's a point like, oh, okay, I was feeling bad, the whole upbringing and the abuse, but at a certain point, you know, you get to a ripe age of an adult when your brain's fully developed. You can start realizing that your choices aren't.
Yeah, it's not helping
It's
you.
not benefiting.
It's not
your
helping
fat,
you at
know?
all. No.
It's like at what point where do you stop feeling bad?
Exactly. It's
I
like
think at the point where you're soloing 12 cupcakes. That might be. I'm gonna be a line.
No, you're definitely right about that. My God, bro.
Didn't change. Except I think I eat more now than I did then. Because my life over the last 10 years has completely become my house. I'm so big I don't even know what I weigh. And I can't even function anymore.
And the mom's just like,
Yeah, that's the
can I have some?
saddest part.
Mom's like, hey, are you gonna at least have one?
So, hey, you gonna stop. There's 12. Give me one. Can I have a lick?
More.
Her lifestyle is probably most people's worst nightmare. She has practically no life. She doesn't leave the house and she has no friends. Jean's own mother even has this to say about her situation, which just speaks volumes.
Had I known that she would end up like this, I would have never had her.
Pizza Hut.
Not because I don't love her, but because I would have rather died than have her live like she's living.
Okay, and I get it. The mom's like, this is horrible for her, going to the extent of like, I would have never had her. Here's the thing, Mom. Why are you still, bro? Is she about to solo? Hold on. Is this all in the same day? Like, no way, this is all in the same day, bro. Like, she just ate that burger. She soloed that 12-pack of cupcakes, and it looks like she got Pizza Hut. Hold on. Let me rewind some more. Hold on, let me.
We just got a fresh
I know?
delivery.
Oh, wings! She about to solo. I don't know how many wings are in there.
That's
Even
like a-
the dog's laying on the bed. Even the dog's like, "Hey, bro, come on, y'all can't spare me some, bro." Oh my God! Like,
that looks like about a 24 pack of wings, a large pizza.
Oh.
That's good.
that's insane.
But
Don't-
she's
she's enabling
she's
it.
like stop feeling bad for yourself
Yes,
and
like,
her. Like
Stop giving her the food. Like, if you really love your daughter, like, you'd be like, "Can I get pizza?" No, you're not getting pizza.
mhm.
You're not. We're getting you a salad today.
Like she's living.
In reality, Jean is just waiting in bed to die and doesn't think that there's any way that she can be helped. Despite this, she has one last chance at changing her life, and that is with an appointment with
Yeah,
Dr.
this my guy, Dr. Now.
The house has caused Jean to develop severe anxiety, and she's unsure if she will even be able to make it out of the house at all. But a few cigarettes later, Jean develops the enough
And
courage-
she's smoking
And she's
too.
Smoking, bro. Her body's like, please.
She's making all the wrong
Please.
choices. Like if there was like a path to like,
She's speedrunning life.
yeah,
She's
this path goes down a long life of health and wealth. This one's despair, and you're sitting in bed till you die. She's making all the choices to go this way.
she's literally speedrunning life right now.
That's true.
to make it to the car, having a borderline breakdown on the way.
I'm not getting out here. I don't really have to go right now. I just want a cigarette and I want to try to calm down because I'm getting really anxious.
Get me a soda, a really big one, please. I need something with sugar to help my nerves.
The pain and discomfort
I need sugar to help my nerves. No, that's your addicted brain telling you to get sugar. Stop.
Yeah, it's your body craving it.
that Jean is experiencing from the car journey is made even worse by her idea that people are constantly staring and laughing at her.
Already staring at me and probably making comments about how big I am. And I don't need to deal with that. So I'm just not getting out because people are jerks.
There were people over there on the grass staring and pointing. Just like I told you. And this lady just drove by and slowed
Look,
down.
As she hands her like a 42-ounce soda.
You were like, we just got. I feel bad for my daughter. Never would have had her. Stop giving her the soda. Stop.
Hand her a nice crisp water. That's probably what she needs right now. She needs a water.
Just stared at me.
You don't have to worry about it. I hate people. I hate people.
They think that having some kind of disability, that it's funny, you know, because they're normal or whatever, you know, but karma's and it will come back on them.
Whether it's fact or fiction, Jean is definitely extremely self-conscious about her appearance, feeling like an endangered animal in a zoo. She is obsessed with making sure...
That's a crazy comment. Oh my god. That bro. I don't know how he said that with the straight face. But that was out of pocket right there. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god.
That's a crazy line. Who wrote that? Who approved that?
People can't see her, as she automatically assumes they will just laugh at her weight. From living her entire adult life at home, hardly ever leaving the house.
Is that still the
it's
same
clear
day?
that this has had a massive
Probably.
negative impact on her mental health, and Jean has a lot to recover from, with her weight just being the start of it. Finally arriving in Houston with her first appointment with Dr. Now, Jean steps on the scales for the first time in years, weighing 702 pounds.
Oh
making her
my
one of the heaviest people ever on the show.
bro.
Jean is
Ever
absolutely
on-
mortified to weigh over 4 times the amount of an average person.
Oh
In her
my
appointment,
Lord,
Jean is
bro.
adamant she won't be able to lose any weight without the surgery, and if she can't have it, she'll just return home and wait to die.
Okay, so how do you think we address that?
I think getting the weight loss surgery, I think that would help.
What is the problem that you think the solution is weight loss surgery?
Because I'm too heavy and I can't do it without it.
Okay, so
Yes, but you're still eating.
Yeah.
You're still making the bad food choices. This is why Dr. Now is the way he is. He's honest, bro. He lays it out. He's like, that's why he's asking that question. Why do you think weight loss surgery is a solution? Why do you think it's a solution? Because if you think that's a solution, but you're not going to change your eating habits, there's no point.
Yeah.
And he's not going to do the surgery. He literally lays it out. I'm like, you have to make a change in your mind, starting with your mindset and with your eating, and then we talk about weight loss surgery. Because if you're not going to put the work in to live a healthier lifestyle, then yeah, at that point you go home and you just wait to die. Sadly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Period.
you decided already what the solution is for your problem. But I got news for you. That solution is not the solution for your problem. Your problem is your eating disorder. And surgery does not correct eating disorder.
Okay, I understand that.
I hope you do.
As we've seen before, the stars just expect to be given weight loss surgery as if this will fix all of their problems. When someone is as overweight as Jean, literally over 700 pounds, they're consuming about 8 to 10,000 calories every single day, potentially even more. Their stomachs are stretched to their absolute limit, so they feel much hungrier than the average person, because there's just a massive space to fill. On top of this, Jean will still have her habit of binge eating every few hours. The weight loss surgery isn't a miracle cure that will make her cravings all go away. It's a useful tool for weight loss over extended periods of time, but Jean doesn't want to say it this way at all.
You are responsible for your behavior.
Yep.
And you are responsible for your eating habit. And
Amen, brother.
surgery is not going to correct that.
No, but it'll give me the tool to help with it.
If you want a different life, you have to be ready to do something about it.
Even looking
She's
back
got
at
it.
how
She's got it backwards. She wants the weight loss surgery and then change. No. No, you got to change first, then weight loss surgery.
she gained all of this weight, Jean is again being unrealistic as she can't admit to the extent of her eating. When Dr. Now asks Jean what an average day in her life looks like on her diet, Jean is anything but honest.
Okay, tell me a typical day. What do you eat?
My dad likes to make eggs and cheese and toast.
Okay, so you eat for lunch usually. What do you eat?
I normally don't eat lunch.
Whatever
Stop lying. Stop. We saw that.
given it. What do you eat
Well,
then?
we could call it dinner, but like if we get pizza, I'll have all the pizza except for 2 slices because I'm
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
hungry.
Okay, so then after that, what do you eat?
If I get hungry, I'll have like an orange.
Then after that,
No.
Bro, the jokes write themselves, bro. I'm sorry.
An orange.
You are capping right now.
That's it.
Till you go to bed?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, that's a lot, but you're still leaving a lot out because that will get you out to over 700.
Bro.
You don't get that size by eating an orange. And, oh, I leave
Bro,
two
even
pieces. No.
Dr. Now's for sure like, stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Ain't no way you just eat eggs and toast and cheese.
Skip lunch.
Skip lunch.
You don't get like that by
and
skipping
then
lunch.
eat all the pizza but 2 slices and then an orange. Stop the cap.
100 pounds. So you're already blaming your weight on other things, and now you're lying to me about how much you eat. So I'm very concerned right now.
Now, surprisingly, even when Dr. Now asks Jean's mother what she eats, she lies too, stating that they eat regular meals in small portions, and the only snacks they eat are fruit, and the occasional half-diet soda drink. If this was true, there would be no way Jean would weigh anything close to 700 pounds. And it's always the same with
That's
these patients.
crazy, bro.
They think they're the exception of the rule of weight gain. And if you're a subscriber to my channel...
It's water weight, guys. It's all water weight. I just can't seem to let go of my water.
In this mentality. They seriously believe that they eat
That's
the
crazy,
same
bro.
things as
That's
normal
so...
people, and the excessive weight gain
my
must
lord.
be due to some mysterious health issue or the classic water weight. To make matters worse, Jean
He already
reveals
knows.
she
Oh my
had a lot of
God, girl.
pain from a sore on her leg. From Dr. Now's examination, we learned that it's severely infected and is prone to bleeding because the skin just isn't able to heal properly. Concerned for her, Dr. Now instructs Jean to stay a night in the hospital to run some tests and see how serious this issue is. Her skin issue gets dangerous as it begins pouring with blood. In an emergency, Jean's mother calls for the nurses to come in. The situation is escalated to Dr. Now, where he finds that, and please be warned, this is genuinely disgusting, Jean's mother is not washing her well enough after she uses the bathroom, so her wound has become infected with B.
Bro. Come on, bro. Dr. Now, you are...
Yeah, man needs a raise.
Bro, this man better be getting paid $20 million a year. You're literally wiping a grown woman's butt
Nah,
because
man.
she can't clean herself right because she's so fat.
Nah, if I was the mom, I would stop. When I had to wipe my own kid's grown butt, I would stop right there. That's it.
Bro, that is
Nah.
insane. What?
Let it go that far.
Oh my God, bro.
Her wound is so serious that Dr. Now predicts that if she hadn't come to the hospital when she did, the skin infection would have become even more infected and could have potentially killed her within a few months. Jean needs to lose weight immediately, as this is the only way this wound will start to heal properly. After a short while at the hospital on Dr. Now's diet, Jean is relieved to find that she weighs 685 pounds, 17 pounds down from when she arrived at her first appointment. By the end of the hospital stay, Jean loses 53 pounds in total, making her 650 pounds. Continuing her weight loss at home, Jean tries to motivate herself to exercise more by feeding her 9 dogs and refilling their water throughout the day. But this has its negative consequences too, as Jean struggles to keep her wound clean because of the bacteria from having so many dogs in such a small house. But Jean wants to continue her weight loss journey, asking her mother to follow the meal plan that Dr. Now gave them. Jean must lose another 50 pounds by herself within the next month to qualify for weight loss surgery, but as we'll come to see, it won't quite work out that way. At her next appointment a month later, Jean steps on the scales again, reading 678 pounds, meaning that Jean gained 29 pounds at home rather than losing 50. Jean is mortified over her massive failure, and Dr. Now isn't listening to any of her excuses.
The evidence of what you lose when you're on diet and eating what you should. So there's no way you're eating 1,200 calories. There's no way you're eating 2,000 calories. There's no way you're eating 4,000 calories. That math doesn't add up.
Lying through her teeth yet again, Jean is adamant she only ate 1,200 calories a day, sticking to the diet
Stop the
Dr. Now
cap.
gave her.
Stop the cap.
No, this isn't true. She's desperate for the weight loss surgery and will say absolutely anything in order to qualify for it.
Eating too much.
Okay, I won't overeat anymore. I will make sure that it's the 1,200 calories because I'm going to prove you wrong that I can do this. I'm going to do it.
You told me 2 months ago that you will do it.
But actually doing the work is a different story.
Yep,
Jean's time
exactly.
is running out, and losing the weight is the only way she can avoid certain death, which is achieved by sticking to the weight loss program and shedding the pounds. But her and her mother are in complete denial about her behavior and her diet.
Oh, I understand, but I didn't realize
You
that I was doing
overeating
it.
yourself and you overfeeding her too.
I understand.
didn't
that I was
realize?
Doing up.
I did not realize that.
About lying.
Oh, hold on. What? I didn't realize. What? You didn't realize that she probably ate, I don't know how many large 2-topping pepperoni pizzas? I didn't realize she ate 4 of them in one day. Really?
She hiding them at, huh? She's hiding them now? Is that what you're saying?
And you don't plan on changing.
If I didn't know I had a problem, I wouldn't be here to begin with. I know that this is my last chance. I know that I'm dying. I know that I'm not going to make it if I don't get help. And
Do
I'm trying to
something
do whatever
about
I
it.
can. So I messed up. I'm sorry.
Dr. Now is much nicer than many people would be in this situation, as he gives her another chance and a different goal: 2 months to lose 100 pounds. Now, personally,
Dang,
I'm
bro,
not
2
confident that
months?
she'll do it, but like we saw in my greatest transformations video, people can turn their journey around. And a month later, Jean is saying she's making good progress and sticking to her diet, even exercising in bed.
All I need is weight loss surgery. And not only did I not get my approval, I have to go back into the hospital with my mom.
But the cameras only record so much, and the truth will come out when she steps on the scales again in Dr. Now's office. As a month goes by, we get to see just that. According to Jean, she has worked as hard as possible to lose the weight, and there's no way she's stepping on that scale and she won't have lost at least 100 pounds. And as you'd have guessed, she was wrong. In the 2 months since Dr. Now gave
how
her
much
a
did she-
final
how much
chance to
did she
qualify for weight
gain?
loss surgery, Jean has lost a whopping 7
Oh.
pounds.
Oh, okay.
Her
Oh
complete failure
my.
leaves her devastated as she loses
7?
her big chance of
71.
weight loss surgery. Frustrated and upset, Jean can't understand why she's barely lost any weight. Dr. Now is quite annoyed with both Jean and her mother for their negligence when it comes to her health. But he does notice that Jean's wound is getting worse and is fearful that this could severely threaten her life. So he refers her back to the hospital for further tests, just to get an idea of how serious this wound actually is. Upon finding that the infection has become even worse than they initially thought, Dr. Now refers Jean to psychotherapy as a last resort to help work through her mental issues, hoping that this will enable her to overcome her struggles and motivate her to focus on the weight loss to literally save her life. Now, in a surprising turn of events, Jean's mother becomes extremely sick, as an operation she had the previous year didn't heal properly, causing Dr. Now to perform emergency surgery on her to save her life. This puts massive pressure on Jean, as she realizes that without her mother, there really is no one left to take care of her properly. Fortunately, the surgery went very well, and Dr. Now keeps her in the hospital for a while after surgery to try and keep her weight down too, as she's also very overweight. This is quite a wake-up call for Jean, as she hates to see her mother in so much pain, so she pledges that she will lose the weight so she can look after her mother, and not the other way around. Things
Good.
should be getting better
I'm
for
glad.
Jean and her mother, but unfortunately, they do get some terrible news. Jean has been calling her father daily, updating them on their situation and how their mother is doing after surgery, but he then stops answering the phone. Concerned for his safety, as this is just totally out of the blue, Jean calls 911 and asks the police to do a welfare check on him, just to make sure everything's okay.
I don't know. Was he in the back bedroom?
Is he okay?
Damn, what happened?
Did he look like maybe he passed in his sleep?
Oh dang, that's awful.
It looked like he just would.
They just keep getting.
I mean, just
One
all
after
this
another.
just piles up, and it gets worse and worse. Like, I feel like if she really wanted to do a weight loss journey, like she could have already had it now, and she would have been to be able to handle it much better and be able to even take care of her mom, because her mom's gonna go through this. It's gonna be hard for her. She needs to be taken care of, but she's not adequate to do it.
I think it
Her
all.
mom has to do it for her.
I think it all stems from the mental health aspect. Her being abused at a young age, and just
The mindset change. It's all mindset.
and them not noticing it or addressing it. They obviously didn't care that much. So.
Yeah, it's all a mindset thing. Yeah,
Yep,
it's sad.
it is.
Sad.
was asleep and just didn't wake up. I don't think it has really, really hit me.
Jean's mother, Barbara, breaks down as you'd expect. She's just had major surgery and somehow has to find her way to get back home, which is over a 4-hour drive, to make the funeral arrangements. Dr. Now
bro.
is sympathetic to Barbara.
It's her
and
husband,
offers his
right?
best advice for her to get home quickly.
Let me make some arrangement to get some medical transport for you to get you home safely, okay? Okay.
What about my car? That's the only car I have.
Well, maybe we can get somebody to drive that for you.
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it.
So what you need to do every hour, get out of the car and walk for 5-10 minutes so you don't develop blood clot, okay? All right, we make arrangement for you to get back home,
Thank you,
okay?
Doc. I appreciate it.
Sorry about your loss.
This traumatic event completely throws Jean off from her weight loss program, which is totally understandable, and Dr. Now advises that she takes the time to recover emotionally before trying to be enrolled in the program again. But it's important to note that Jean must keep in her mind that her life is on the line.
Yeah, I feel like that's another important thing. They should not be like, all right, well, go home and just, be in your feelings and just,
Yeah. Nope.
just start. No, they need to keep you like you are, like your life is still on the line
Yeah.
right now. Like,
It's either gonna take her one or two ways. She's either gonna spiral down, it's gonna be too much, and all this stuff is gonna spiral down, and she's gonna
yeah,
die.
This
or
is
it's
it.
gonna motivate her more to change.
It's really do or die.
Yeah.
Her organs are at massive risk of failing, and she can't just slip back into her old habits because of her father's death. With her father gone, Jean decided not to return to Houston, as they have no one to look after their dogs if they leave. Without her father around to clean, their home has become extremely dirty, and things don't look very optimistic for Jean at all.
Right now, it's not the right time for me to give up food. I'm not in a place physically or mentally to do
Oh
that.
no.
With Barbara still recovering from her surgery, she's unable to keep the house clean at all, as she is still practically bedbound, and the mess from their 9 dogs piles up very quickly. Despite having lost her father, which is obviously devastating, Jean isn't doing anything to help her mother, who has lost her partner of over 40 years, and who is recovering from major surgery.
This
Jean
is
is
just
completely
terrible.
selfish,
This
and
is
claiming
getting
that she
worse and
doesn't
worse.
have time to think about the weight loss proves that.
Oh
She couldn't
my
make an effort
God,
for
bro.
herself, let alone her poor mother. Ultimately, Jean fails Dr. Now's weight loss program, unable to stick to a diet outside of the hospital.
Oh
hoping
my
that the weight loss
God,
surgery
bro.
would have
Come
been
on,
Jean is
stop.
convinced that another opportunity will magically appear to cure her, but we all know
Magic
the
wand.
only real way out
Nope.
is through a calorie deficit,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
she doesn't want to have. Now, if you want to see some people who actually made a real effort on
Dang.
my 600
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Like,
Dang, that just got real depressing at the end.
yep.
I mean, that's how it spirals, man. That's how
But
your
again, you
choices add up after a while.
can't get in your feelings. Like, I get it. Like the loss. Like, I haven't experienced it yet. God forbid that my parents are still
Yeah,
long on this
yeah.
earth for much longer. But you can't, like, yes, it's like there's a time to mourn, but at the same time you can't let go of yourself. You can't do that.
No,
Can't do
you
that as
can't. You
much as
can't
want to.
sit in your pity and feel bad for yourself, because that's not gonna help you. You
No.
have to get up and get moving and put your mind on something else. Give you something to work for, something to you can't. That is a good example of how action is the only thing that's gonna really change.
Yeah.
You talk and talk like she was talking. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And she never did it. She never put action to her words.
No. And you have to do that, especially weight loss. I had to do that.
Yep.
It took me a
Yep.
while.
And your choice, it's all about little choices, right?
Yeah, it's all about little choices. I gotta make. It's gotta. You don't become like that over one day. And you also don't lose all the weight all in one
Yeah.
day. It's like I said. It's
Yep.
it's your actions pile up. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoy this kind of based reacts content, hit like, hit subscribe, comment, share this with your friends,
Please.
and we will see you in the next one. This is the place where liberals crash out.